Welcome to NAN Villa Weekly Review. President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the 15-kilometer A2 Pi Town Road in Kwali Area Council of the FCT. The road is part of the 150 kilometers of completed or ongoing projects across the 6 area councils since May 29, 2023.
People of Pi, this is your road. This is your road, and I urge the community to make ownership of this infrastructure. Guide it, maintain it, and use it to the fullest. Let it be a pathway to growth and bridge to a better life for the youth, the farmers, traders, and students who will move with great ease.
President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated 2,000 tractors under the renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Program, declaring the start of Nigeria's agricultural renaissance. The ceremony took place at the National Agricultural Seeds Council, Shida, along the Abuja-Lokoja Expressway.
We made a promise when we came in. We are fulfilling that promise. 2 years ago, I sounded the alarm on our nation's food security. The crisis, I demanded immediate and innovative solution. That urgent call is answered today.
President Bola Tinubu in Abuja expressed Nigeria's readiness to deepen ties with Denmark in livestock development, agribusiness, and educational cooperation. The president stated this at the State House while receiving Queen Mary Elizabeth of Denmark, who is visiting Nigeria as patron of the United Nations Population Fund. President Bola Tinubu has assured Nasarawa State of continued federal government support, particularly in the development of agriculture and solid minerals. The president gave the assurance during a visit to the Emir of Lafia, Justice Sidi Mohammed, in his palace.
I thank all of you the way you showed up in grace and glory to the palace. Chief, thank you for keeping loyalty intact with the Emir.
President Bola Tinubu has signed 4 landmark tax reform bills into law, marking what he called a bold new era of economic governance. The brief ceremony was held at the State House, Abuja, with the leadership of the National Assembly, led by Senate President Godswill Akpabio and House Speaker Tajuddin Abbas in attendance. The 4 new acts are the Nigeria Tax Bill, Fair Taxation, Tax Administration Bill, Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill.
We have changed the rule. We have changed some of the misgivings. We have opened the door for new economy, business opportunity. We are showing that Nigeria is truly ready and open for business.
President Bola Tinubu has called on all Nigerians to join the fight against drug abuse and trafficking, describing it as a national movement beyond government efforts. Tinubu made the call in Abuja during the 2025 World Drug Day commemoration at the State House. He was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume.
We are committed to working hand in hand with all nations to end this menace and tame the illicit trafficking of substances. Together, we can dismantle the systems that sustain this crisis.
Vice President Shettima says Africa's future prosperity hinges on integrating the informal sector into formal intra-African trade through the African Continental Free Trade Area. Shettima made the call at the opening of the 4th African Union Macro, Small and Medium Enterprises Forum in Abuja.
There can be no African prosperity without a strong MSME ecosystem. This forum is a continental call to action. We owe it to ourselves, to our children, and to generations unborn to integrate our informal sector into the framework of formal intra-African trade.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has applauded the Nigeria-Brazil Green Imperative Agricultural Initiative worth over $1 billion. Shettima gave the commendation during the opening of the second Nigeria-Brazil Strategic Dialogue Mechanism at the Presidential Villa, Abuja.
The Memorandum of Understanding before our sister nations today speak to the breadth of this cooperation. But memoranda are only as meaningful as the follow-through they inspire. We must resist the temptation to confuse signing with solving. Let us agree on mechanisms to monitor progress, identify bottlenecks, and hold ourselves to account.
Vice President Kashim Shettima says Nigeria is currently witnessing a silent and bold transformation under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu. Shettima said this at the Nigeria-Brazil Business Forum, tagged Routes to Revenue, the Nigeria-Brazil Corridor, held in Abuja.
Brazil's journey speaks to us. Your strides in agriculture, energy, infrastructure, and industrial development reflect what is possible when technical capacity is matched with national determination. These are the same areas where Nigeria is making bold moves. Under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, Nigeria is undergoing a quiet but resolute transformation.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on nations of the world to be decisive about combating climate change. Shettima made the call at the inauguration of Ethiopia's Green Legacy Initiative in Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital.
I come here not only to share in your joy and to exchange ideas, but to convey the deep and abiding solidarity of His Excellency President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, and the good people of Nigeria. We salute every visionary who has made this dream a reality, and we assure you that Nigeria stands with you in spirit, in purpose, and in resolve. Ethiopia and Nigeria are not just the two most populous countries in Africa. This distinction is not just statistical, it is existential.
Vice President Kashim Shettima says the federal government plans to plant 20 billion trees in the next rainy season as a part of a national reforestation and environmental sustainability drive. Shettima made this known after touring several agricultural and industrial facilities in Ethiopia. The visits are aimed at strengthening bilateral ties in agriculture and industrial development between Nigeria and Ethiopia.
I was thrilled by the Green Legacy program because it's a win-win situation. We are reclaiming our lands through afforestation. We are creating jobs in terms of gender inclusion and even youth empowerment initiative, because a lot of youth are employed in raising the seedlings, in planting the trees. I think Ethiopia is a success story worthy of emulation by all African nations.